Hello and welcome to Chubby Pug Yarn podcast, a podcast about woolly crafts, mostly knitting. My name is Emma and I'm the creator, I guess, behind this channel. So welcome back. I hope you're having a really good day, night, evening. I'm sitting outside on my balcony. It's a really crisp and lovely October day. So it's been quite some time since I recorded last, a couple of weeks, or 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but we have finally gotten out of like a house of illness. Both the kids and me and my husband has been ill, but we're slowly getting back to the regular routine. So I'm sitting outside again, and I hope the birds won't distract too much, but I think like the ones jumping on the roof, they kind of disappear when I start talking here, so I hope this will be fine. I hope you will have some time to sit down here, or whatever you like to do while you watch podcasts. I have a cup of tea here with me, kind of hot already, or still hot, so I just made it. I must show you perhaps my favorite tea cup. I got it for Christmas a couple of years ago from my mother-in-law and her partner. I don't know if they think I'm like the Groke, but I really like it. She's one of my favorite characters from the Moomin series. So but we're not here to talk about Moomin or about my tea. I'm here to talk a bit about my knitting. That's my plan at least, so I hope you can join me in this. But firstly, I really want to say thank you to all of you who put down comments in my last video with tips about stain removal from knits. I haven't had time to try anything out yet due to said illness. We have been at home sick, so I haven't had any energy for doing anything, but I will try to look into all the tips, but I have tried to give like a thumbs up so you can see that I have read the comments and I tried to reply as well. So I hope I can save my sweater, but we will see. That was a huge thank you. I really appreciate the advice. And then I can just jump to my latest finished objects. Unfortunately, I only have one with me. That's like the life of me as a person who knits mostly for the kids. So I have finished the Love Note sweater for my daughter that I talked about last time. She has it in the kindergarten and she loves it. It fits really well. I had to redo the neckline since she's quite tall, but kind of skinny, I guess. So I knitted a size or two smaller than she is, because the sweater is kind of oversized. So I had to redo the neckline to make it as wide as the appropriate size. But after that, it worked really well. And then I was joining a test knit. So this is my finished object that I can show you this time around. So this is a pair of thicker wool socks for my daughter. So this is a size 14 centimeters. The designer, I think this is her first pattern, so I'm really excited. It's one of her earliest, at least. I think she's calling them like basic family socks, perhaps. I will write the appropriate name on them. So These are made of tråd strickegarn from the free strand wool yarn from Rauma. So the color the color isn't like in the pattern. I just made them like this for fun. So they have a rib on the front, so the fit is really good, and the pattern is out. So I think it's this is like the second smallest size, and then she has all the way up to adult sizes, so you get like the whole range in one pattern, which is really good. So my first pair, I need to iron on some name labels on these, so she can have them in kindergarten, but these are a little bit too thick to have now. This is like DK weight, so really quick to knit up and really cute. So yeah. And the last finished object I can't show you, but I will hopefully have pictures so I can show you later. The Triceratop sweater for my son is done. The evening before the photography, of course. Deadlines aren't. I was going to say the deadlines aren't a good thing, but I work well under deadlines. So yeah, he and I took a trip to one of my local yarn stores, who also has embroidery floss from DMC. So he got to pick 16 colors for the Triceratop on the sweater. So I have been embroidering like a mad woman to finish the piece. I'm really pleased about it, and I hope he will get a lot of use out of it. So actually I sent him in his new sweater and my daughter in the old one I made for him when my oldest was 2 years old. So they have one each. So hopefully I can have some cute photos from the kindergarten with them having matching dinosaur sweaters, one green and one yellow. So yeah, that's all I have managed to finish. And then I think I only have new works in progresses. I talked about them last time. I believe I can check my notes. Yeah, no, I didn't have any of them. So these are new cast-ons, but I have been working on them for, as I said, like almost a month. So yeah, my test knit for November knits. I guess this is kind of an ad, or like paid, since I'm doing a test knit where I got the yarn for free. I just want to be clear about that. I got the yarn for free and the pattern for free. I don't get any paid, or are not like obliged to. I don't have to mention it anywhere. I'm just supposed to check the fit and give feedback on like the amount of yarn used. But just so you know, I got this yarn for this test knit. So this is a vest, I guess you say. It's a kind of oversized one, and mine is very dark charcoal mixed with black. So it has, let's see if it can cooperate, some ribbing that continues all the way down the armhole and down the side. It's going to be a big high collar that you fold over at the top, but I haven't reached that part yet. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. It looks kind of big, but like I have quite a roomy sweater on and I really like it. So if you're going to have a shirt under, I think this will be really nice. What I probably will do is, when I have knitted up the yarn I have like on here. Now I will probably pick up the neckline and knit it so I can try it on and get like the correct fitting, like the correct fit, to see how it will look around my shoulders. I think it will be alright. Hopefully when I pick up the neckline it will like scuff it in a little bit. I'm not sure, but I hope so. So yeah, it's a really fun one. I have perhaps 15 centimeters of stockinette before the ribbing, so I have quite a lot of knitting left to do, but I have like a little bit over 2 weeks more left to knit. So yeah, the yarn I'm using, let's see if I can find a full skein because it's easier to see, I think. I have one in the bottom of the bag. The yarn is Embla from Hillesvåg. Come on. So this is the charcoal grey one, and I chose to pair it with a black Sandnes Thin Silk mohair because I didn't want it like completely dead black, if you get what I mean. Quite often with like fabric dyed yarns, a black can be kind of dead. It doesn't have any like subtle changes in the color, but I think like when using these two, the charcoal and the black mohair, I don't get a grey sweater, but it gets a little bit more life in it, or I don't know how to explain it, but I'm really pleased with the color of this. So I'm imagining having either a plum or perhaps a forest green shirt underneath. So I have to check in my wardrobe if I have anything to have under it. I can also see how it could be just as a practical piece for me to have like a very thin wool sweater. We have I don't know like the correct English word for it, but usually we have like when we're going outside for skiing or playing in the snow, we have like a very thin layer of wool pants and a sweater, not like an undergarment, but like long sleeved and long legs, like an inner layer, and I can see myself having like the inner wool layer and just this. Since I'm a very warm person, I could have that to like keep my body warm but not get too warm, like in the in-between temperatures. I actually hate having winter jackets on. I wait as long as possible, so I use wool sweaters for a long time. Oh, my yarn has escaped. So yeah, I use this thin wool sweater and my big knitted sweaters, or like the Icelandic one for example. If I use those, I can be outside comfortably in like -10 at least, -15, as long as not very windy. If it's windy I need like some layer who catches the wind. But yeah, this is my main work in progress. And also rant about how I dress for winter. I'm a bit all over the place. So the next work in progress is for the daughter of my co-worker and friend. That I mentioned last time that I will start this and see how far I will get before my test knit yarn arrived. So this is how far I have gotten on this. So I think it was called a Lynn cropped bomber, like a jacket. So these are ridiculous 15mm needles. Those are crazy. So you have It's 3 types of yarn. So you have one of these beige ones. Let's see if I have one with the label on. This was a kit that she requested for me, or asked if I could knit. So this is one of the yarns. Let's see, come on, phone. So you have like 3 strands of this, and then you take one of the strands out, and you have this this weird ladder yarn. Let's see if the camera can pick it up. There you go. So that you hold with 2 strands to get this part. It only focuses on my face. Sorry. And then you have 3 strands of a white yarn, which is not the same one. Let's see. My kids really enjoy picking off the labels of my yarn. So it's from Permin. So this is going to be like a cropped jacket with big oversized sleeves. I wasn't a huge fan of the pattern since it's not going to have like any buttoning or any closing in the front. I was a little bit bummed out that it didn't have like any nice edge stitches, and the ribbing wasn't mirrored evenly, so I did some alterations. So I cast on 2 more stitches so I can have like since you can't close it, I want the ribbing, let's see if you get what I mean. I want the ribbing to end on knit 2 on both sides, to have like a symmetrical opening, and also I lift one of the stitches to have not have the purl bumps visible on the edging. So it's knit in pieces, but I figure that I will knit like knit back and forth for the body, and sew the shoulder seam as you're supposed to, and then knit the sleeves in the round, because why do I need to knit the sleeve back and forth and sew it together when I don't need to? So yeah, but this will have to wait until my test knit is done. So yeah, but it's this is just like 1.5 or 2 hours of knitting or something, but the really chunky needles, I can feel it a bit in my hands, so I need to have some other projects in between. So yeah, and then my last one is like to make it fair for all my kids. I have two, to make it fair for both of them. Oh, my needle fell off. I'm making the basic family sock for my oldest as well. So this is the first one for him. So I think I will probably bring this to the knitting festival I'm going to this this coming weekend, called Stitchorama. So if you're going, please come and say hi. I think I will have this as my project. This is like my knitting bag and purse that I have when I'm not carrying like a big bag with wet wipes and spare clothing for my kids, which I mostly do. But when I don't, I have this knitting bag that I really like. It's actually like a special order from a Swedish sewer. This is one of the older ones she has, Yael and the bags. So she has like a newsletter that you can subscribe to, and she sends out when she has room for new ones. So you can order like her different she has like standards bag, like this one with straps, or small ones and big ones, and then you can choose colors. So I really enjoy mine, and I use it a lot. So yeah, that's all the yarn. Perhaps I can check the tea. Perfect. So then I just have some stash. So if you like watching like the yarn buying things, hang around for a bit more. So I can show you. Both these things has been laying around here for some time, since I haven't recorded. My mom and I found these online. It's a collaboration. Sorry, a collaboration from the candy maker Fatse and Novita, which is a Norwegian, sorry, a Finnish yarn brand. So they have one with the geisha candy, but it was sold out, unfortunately, for slippers. So this one, it's a pattern, wool, needles, and candy. It's really nice. Let's see. I haven't even opened this one. Oh, sorry, I haven't opened this one. I can take the other one that I have opened. So you have this nice box. Mine is open from before. So you get enough yarn to make the socks. So this is Novita Nalle. Come on, camera. Let's see. So you have yarn and some interesting wooden needles. I haven't tried these, so I'm looking forward to it. You have a label to put around the socks if you're going to gift them to someone. Candy, which you can either gift with the socks or just eat while you're knit, which is what I'm going to do, because I love this. And then you have a printout for the pattern. So these are the socks for this one. These marmalade candies are really good. It's marmalade jellies, they say on the package of the candy. When I grew up, this was one of my dad's favorites. So yeah, I haven't dug into this kit yet. And then the other one is for a licorice one. But I haven't opened the box yet, so I guess I will show you when I will show you this one when I open it up and start knitting on it. Then I have one more stash acquisition, I guess. That is kind of old now, but I have really wanted to try Nutiden, and I managed. One of the perks of having a kid that wakes you up at right before 5 in the morning is the fact that you will be on time for a Nutiden yarn release. Because I have been eyeing out this color. I have enough for a sweater for me. Let's see what the yarn was called. This is Vagabond. So it's a grey with a lot of like aubergine purple tones. It's kind of dark, so perhaps it's more right here. I haven't started yet, and I haven't found a pattern, so if you have any good suggestions for me, like a good cozy sweater to knit, probably with 2 strands of this held together, I would love to have your recommendations if you have tried anything, or have anything in mind that you think would be nice. I have some contrast white and light gray from before that I haven't tried either. So I can use it for like color work or something, or just this one. It smells kind of nice. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to try this. Like most of the Nutiden yarn are like in purples and yellows. They are really pretty, but purples and yellows aren't my go-to. So when I saw this one, this purple one, I was like, yeah, that's the one I need. So I got some for me, and I'm really happy about it. But that will probably be some knitting for next year, or in the winter perhaps. I hope the tractor isn't too loud. They are like arranging. They are turning the soil in the fields around my house, so they're driving a bit back and forth over here. So yeah, that was all the stash and the knitting. So yeah, not that much left to talk about, I guess. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to the knitting festival in Hamar, Stitchorama, this coming weekend. So if you're going, yeah, please say hi if you see me. I'm going to do like a course in macrame with my mother, so I really look forward to have some alone time with her. My sweet dad is watching the kids, so I can have a full day of wool. So my next recording will hopefully not be really long with stash acquisitions. I have a wish for some fun sock yarn, if I can find anything. We will see. I have like oh, sorry, a bird. I have like decided not to plan ahead. Like I want to buy this and this from these ones, but I think I will just go there and see if any yarn attacks me. Perhaps on some nice sock yarn, or I would really like to find a sweater's quantity for a Lento. I have heard a lot of about Lento sweater, so I figured I could be like the last one on the train and knit one for me. I think it will be nice, but I have no idea what color or anything. But that is like one pattern I have in the back of my head. And also, since it's October, I really need to cast on some socks. So I just want to share one of my favorite Swedish designers called Erika. She has released a new sock pattern that is aimed towards people with high arches and like chubby legs. I don't know how to like translate it more properly. They're really cute. I will pop out a picture of it. So I'm planning to knit one of these up because I really want to. But I think I need to prioritize my test knitting first. So yeah, that's actually a problem because I want to knit those socks. And also I'm really tempted to jump on the Geo Gradient Mystery Cal with Stephen West. The shawl, like a garter shawl, seems really tempting, but I don't have a lot of knitting time nowadays, so I'm not sure if I'm going to. Perhaps I can look for yarn at the knitting festival this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to or not. I haven't decided. I was kind of in September. I was like, yeah, I totally want to go full in on the Mr. Knit Along for Geo Gradient, I think it's called. But now it's like it's a couple of days in October, and how am I supposed to keep up? I'm not sure. Are you going to join the Knit Along? Or do you have any other autumn knitting plans? I would love to know, so just comment down below if you want to share something. I get real happy for every comment I get. So yeah. We have a lot of deer that runs over the fields now when they have harvested everything, so it's easy for me to see when they run across the field right in front of me, so I get a bit distracted, sorry. Yeah, it was really nice to be able to sit down and talk a bit to you again. I have been wanting to record for a couple of weeks and I have really missed it. So I hope you're having a really nice day, wherever you are, and take care, and see you in the next episode. Bye!